Prepare to be truth-pilled on Cory Sandhagen, folks, because the dark horse of bantamweight, Mario Bautista, is about to rise up and absolutely cook on International Fight Week. Right off rip, we're going Mario Bautista, god of MMA, king of combat. I'm never switching up on Mario Bautista again. I will never make that mistake twice. I really need to preface this because I'm about to dig deep into Sandhagen. Pause. The main point of this video isn't to piss all over Cory's accomplishments, because he's done a lot in this sport, like basically done everything that you can except get the official title, become champion. But today I'm not pulling any punches. We're about to go into International Fight Week. I'm here to tell the full truth on his fight style. His fans will probably freak the fuck out over this video, but I don't really care. This is such an important matchup at 135 right now, and it's my job to get to the bottom of it for you guys. Cory is a good, defensive, mobile fighter, okay? He has quite a intimidating presence. He has prioritized his footwork for most of his career over anything else. He's a side-to-side master, okay? Total stance-switching merchant, paired with the ability to spam light strikes, like primarily his jab and his calf kicks. Cory is a great defensive striker. Don't come at me with, he flying kneed Frankie Edgar, he wheel kicked Marlon Moraes. They were both compromised, and you know it. Okay, Cory's not a finisher, he's a point fighter. Frankie Edgar had been picking up CTE since, like, the Gray Maynard fight, before the fucking Reebok era even existed, and Marlon Moraes is like the biggest glass cannon in MMA. So, yes, those were spectacular finishes, but like, low-key, Cory's highlight reel has looked the same for the last 5 years, okay? If it goes to the ground, Cory threatens submissions really well. He did tweak Figueiredo's knee, and look, for sure, he armbarred Mario Bautista. Bautista was 6-0 at the time, like a baby in mixed martial arts, debuted really early into his career and paid the price for it. I think that was a mistake from Mario to accept that fight, but you live and you learn. Cory trains with the great Ryan Hall, and watch out, folks, because he's just a magician on the mat. Look, I don't doubt it, Ryan Hall is a grappling wizard, but he looks like he has cerebral palsy, okay? You need to be a strong wrestler in MMA, period. I believe BJJ is secondary. Cory's in great shape, but like, he's also kind of a hippie as well. Like, when he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, like, when I fought Marlon Vera, it felt like I was in a psychedelic experience. Like, ooh, so mysterious. I'm a self-learner. I'm a free thinker. Like, cornball alert. I'm just kidding. But the biggest problem, my biggest problem with Sandhagen is overrated striking power. Pipsqueak power, if you will. So much so, the judges sided with TJ Dillashaw's knees to the thigh over Cory Sandhagen's punches. That's how powerless and wimpy they look. They don't get the judges' respect, let alone his opponent's respect. And so basically how Cory's been losing these fights is, as the fight goes on, his opponent just sort of realizes that he has, like, phantom power, and they begin to pressure him and really get to him because he just can't keep them off of him. He's also stuck with this massive hate boner for O'Malley because I honestly think it's because their styles are so similar, and like, Sean like gamed the system, like put on the clown suit and like rose to the top ahead of Sandhagen, but like, that's just my take on it. But am I just super salty that Cory Sandhagen ducked Peyton Talbot before he was obliterated by the meta rankings? Yeah, a little bit, but like, this is a phenomenal matchup, and I think Mario Bautista has learned a lot and grown a lot. Like, he fought Sandhagen when he was 6-0. You should be on the fucking regional scene, Bautista, when you're 6-0. Like, come on now. This is going to be a fun one. Let's dive into the breakdown. And Mario Bautista is, like, good friends and training partners with Sean O'Malley, so like, he's literally going to come in and like do Sean O'Malley's dirty work here and get this win over Sandhagen. So I can't wait to break this one down for you guys. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and share for more UFC analysis. And let's dive into Sandhagen versus Bautista. Let's take a look at the records of these two. Cory most known for losing to champions. Bautista still sort of working his way up to champions. Both have fought Umar Nurmagomedov, and I would argue Bautista had the cleaner performance. He had a nasty submission attempt with a toe hold in the first round and dropped Umar Nurmagomedov with a lead knee, step-in knee right on the chin. In another reality, Umar's out cold. Mario Bautista's fighting for the belt right now, but Umar recovered, is what it is. He went on to lose 30-27, but it was a hell of a lot more impressive than anything Cory did in that bout. I can understand not believing in Bautista here. His resume sort of lacks a lot of name value. Like, we're talking an old man Aldo, who even Amian Zahabi can get by, and Patchy Mix, who is basically Cory Sandhagen on half speed with, like, no striking skill. So Bautista is one of the most well-rounded fighters at bantamweight right now. I was in love with his submission win last time out against Lockdog Oliveira. I would love him to try and submit Sandhagen in this bout. We're going to go stat by stat, break down their entire fight styles, but keys to victory for Sandhagen is definitely build up an early strike lead and then dance around at range, get on your laterals, and try to get enough work done in 3 rounds. Sandhagen has done a lot of 5-round fights that could bite him in the ass here, and he could fall behind because Bautista's got volume as well. He's just a little bit shorter. As for Bautista, go for takedowns, go for a submission early. Try and submit Sandhagen early. You can get it done if you actually try. If that doesn't work, go buck wild. Put volume on Sandhagen, crash the pocket. You have nothing to fear. Just watch out for short intercepting elbows. So now for the stats. I'm giving an accuracy edge to Mario Bautista. Here's why. Mario low-key has the better volume, okay? He has the tidier boxing. He's more comfortable in the pocket than a guy like Sandhagen, who is a great operator at the long guard. Pathetic when it comes to the brawl, the pocket. We've seen Merab Dvalishvili get on the inside and piece up Sandhagen and almost TKO him. A Merab TKO on the feet. Very yucky. So I think Mario Bautista, I actually think he strikes better into taller opponents. Like we saw him just put a demolition job on. Who does that to Patchy Mix? I know Patchy Mix was like literally in a block of ice in that fight. I'm going to give an accuracy edge to Bautista. A lot of Cory Sandhagen's volume is phantom. Like, it's a lot of, I mean, they look like real punches, but they're feints, they're minimal power strikes, they're not going to hurt a fly. So Bautista may be the shorter guy in this matchup, but busier hands by far. Much busier hands. Steadier output, higher accuracy goes to Mario Bautista. Up next is their gas tanks. Let's talk about cardio. Most fighters who come out of Denver, Colorado have elite level gas tanks. Like, we're talking Gaethje, can't think of anyone else, but like Cory Sandhagen, you would think he would have better cardio for being a bantamweight at crazy high elevation training, but he doesn't. Typically when the third round rocks around, Sandhagen has tuckered himself out from all of his movement. You can look at his Dillashaw fight, his Yan fight, even his Song Yadong fight. He just makes mistakes in the later rounds. He does a lot of early moving. I know we've seen Cory Sandhagen go 5 rounds a bunch, but I think Mario Bautista has low-key a bit of good Mexican in him, so I'm going to label it as even here. Who is the better evasive striker on the feet? Who has the better dodge? Both of them are getting a high dodge stat here. I poked fun at Sandhagen earlier in the video for being a stance switch merchant, but he does it for a reason. He's insanely hard to hit. One of the best mobility-based fighters in the UFC on the side of Sandhagen. Absolutely. I don't want to take away from his footwork. In the early rounds, good luck touching Sandhagen's chin. I think you really got to work the body and then sort of get your combinations going later into the fight once you can slow Cory down. That's what Petr Yan did. I'm giving Mario Bautista high dodge mainly because of his boxing IQ. He may not spaz out on the feet with the stance switches, but Mario Bautista has not a long guard like Sandhagen that people can really, slip and crash into distance and like fuck you up in the pocket. Mario Bautista has always been a comfortable guy going down to the body, hiding in a shell, hitting that boxing triangle. Love the work from Mario Bautista. Nobody gives him the credit on the feet, mainly just because his punches lack power, and I think that's a really shitty way to go through watching and analyzing MMA is, especially in these weight classes, like, if you want to see people nuked out on the feet with every punch, there are divisions for that. This is bantamweight, all right? Yes, Mario Bautista hits like a fucking flyweight, but his skill is peak, okay? Like, and his defensive habits are good as well. So when it comes to like defensive boxing, I love what I see out of Bautista as well. But Cory Sandhagen's footwork, elite. So we're going to give both of them a high dodge stat here. Up next, a controversial stat. Who do we think is smarter in the cage? Makes better reads, makes better decisions, makes less fuck-ups. I think Bautista losing to Sandhagen early in his career was quite fluky. He got clipped on the chin with a flying knee from Sandhagen, armbarred on the ground once he was dazed and out of there. 6-0, like we said. There is a pretty big red flag in there, though, for Mario Bautista, and that is getting one-punch KO'd by 5-star Trevin Jones, who has a 14-13 record. So, not the greatest look. I know a really underrated way, a really crafty way to, like, spot good fight IQ from your fighters is how many just good old unanimous decisions do they have, because that is hard proof that they can go the full distance without making critical errors, okay? And Mario Bautista has loads of unanimous decisions, 6 in the UFC. So both these guys are intelligent. I haven't seen, they haven't been champion yet, they haven't showcased that elite level MMA ball knowledge, like, to capture a title yet, so they won't be getting high fight IQ, but I think they're on their way. Let's talk grappling. We got Cory Sandhagen, a brown belt under Elliot Marshall, a guy I've never heard of, and Mario Bautista, black belt under his head coach, the well-respected John Crouch. But I simply refuse to call Cory Sandhagen the better grappler here just because he armbarred Mario Bautista like 8 years ago. It's MMA, shit happens. He flying kneed Mario in the face before he got the armbar. That's not gonna happen again. The better wrestler here is 100% Mario Bautista. Better takedowns, he's stronger, he's not built tall. This is where Bautista is gonna win the fight and just like really shock some people, because Cory Sandhagen is a string bean, can't defend takedowns. Merab hit him with about 30 takedowns. Umar hit him with about 30 takedowns, and they are sort of like chain wrestlers looking to just exhaust you over 5 rounds. Mario Bautista is smart enough to know he doesn't have 5 rounds to work with here. He has 3 rounds, so you gotta prioritize the submission, of which Mario Bautista has 7, and got a really nasty one in his last fight over Lockdog Oliveira. That was like butter, dude. That was so good. That was a good enough win to like get me back on Bautista forever. If he really learns to lean into his grappling and perfect those submission skills, because I think he's actually strong enough to wrestle into pretty much every bantamweight except Umar because he's a mutant, but everybody else, Mario Bautista is dangerous with the subs, man. I'm telling you, he's got rear naked chokes, triangle arm bars, guillotines, darces. He's hit like one of every sub, so Sandhagen can do all the work he wants with Ryan Hall. They can giggle it up, roll about, but Bautista's a dog, man, and people are going to sleep on him here. I think he wins this fight by submission, so he gets an obvious advantage in the grappling statistic. However, KO power, finishing ability, will go Cory Sandhagen's way. This is my one critique, my one criticism of Mario Bautista is pretty powerless at this weight class. Hits like a flyweight, little 125er power, but this is hard to explain, but the style that Cory Sandhagen takes is point striker. I'm going to flick a ton of stuff at you, confuse the hell out of you, and I'm going to be untouchable. I'm going to move around you, never let you know what I'm doing. You know, I'm a free thinker. I'm psychedelic in there, all that good stuff. His creativity is where his like KO threat comes from. Like Cory actually has no power either. He's a little pillow puncher, but he's very creative with it. Mario Bautista is a highly economical fighter who sacrifices KO power, and he's just not really built that way. So I'm going to give KO power to Sandhagen for his creativity. I think the Frankie Edgar and Marlon Moraes KOs, highly overrated. Both those guys are CTE ridden. Edgar for sure, Marlon Moraes, a big glass cannon, and that's Sandhagen's highlight reel. He body shotted this ginger in the prelims once, and that's about it. But Mario Bautista is not a heavy hitter whatsoever, so advantage, Sandhagen. The final stat is toughness. Who has the better chin, can take more punishment. As for heart and grit and durability, like Cory's low-key, like people dub Cory Sandhagen like, oh, he's a wizard on the feet. It's all about IQ with him. No, he's like literally a meathead. He gets bailed out by his chin all the time. Sandhagen's low-key got like an iron chin when we really break it down, like not getting knocked out from Piotr Jan. Mario Bautista, the Aldo fight is interesting because he did sort of get hit with like a couple body shots from Aldo and go, okay, let me just win this fight by stalling in the clinch and kill my fan base. So it's interesting from Bautista, man, but I think he is tough. He can weather a storm too. I would say Cory Sandhagen has more natural toughness, whereas Mario Bautista is a bit more mentally tough. I'll just chalk it up to even on toughness. Both guys aren't known for it. They are technical fighters here. And I really don't see either guy knocking each other out in this bout. They don't really have the power to. Maybe you could argue Cory Sandhagen has the creativity to, because he did catch him with the knee in their first fight, and Mario Bautista sort of needs to like hit you with like 20 punches to like make you go down. He's more of a submission guy, so I'm gonna chalk it up to even for the toughness. So this is a big one on International Fight Week. We have so many more crazy matchups to break down. I'll probably drop predictions early because every fight is like Apex main event worthy, so let's get ahead of the curve. I'll get you guys predictions nice and early. Rip 2, Ethan Ewing had to pull off the card. He was supposed to fight Farid Basharat, destroy another undefeated fighter for us. All hail Ethan Ewing. So maybe I'll break it down in a couple of days once I see if he can possibly get a bounce back opponent. As always, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the breakdown, and I will see you all real soon.